My name is Mike Durr. I am the Kingwood Mortgage Guy. That's me on both sides, someone with the earphones and the other without. One of the things I'm the proudest of is that the customers I've dealt with have been fantastic, and they've been very generous and to go on to Google and to give me reviews. Now, I have on Google right now 33 reviews. 32 of them are 5-star reviews. I have one 1-star review. And I always like to answer the question, why did I get a 1-star review? Well, it actually turns out to be a guy that I didn't do a loan with, and he got mad at me, and I wasn't 100% all, I mean, it was my fault, okay? I didn't understand what he wanted to do, and so I misinterpreted. When I did understand what he wanted to do, I just told him I wasn't the best guy to do it, and that upset him, but so be it. If you wanted to reach me at 281-348-9899, I'd love to hear from you. I love to take phone calls. One of the things that sets me apart from some of the guys out there is I answer my own phone. I like that, and if you don't get me, if I'm on the phone with somebody else, or if I'm in a position where I can answer the phone, then leave a message, and I promise I'll call you back. How about that? Okay, so that is, how do you know you're ready to buy? This is a good series, and it's kind of a separate section. How do you know when you're ready to buy? Well, there are a couple good reasons that you're going to know. One, you're ready to invest. Okay, you've been making money. You're actually saving a little money each month, and you've accumulated some money. You've actually been able to save some money. Your credit is good. You've been able to pay your debts comfortably. You have money left over, and you're saving the money. You're not spending it. You're not going on wild vacation, not necessarily wild vacation, but you're not going on vacations and spending every penny that you get. You're starting to show that you've got the responsibility to kind of build a nest egg. Your job is stable. Now, the job is stable, you feel comfortable, you're going to work there for a while, and you have no real fear that you're going to lose your job at any minute. And you also plan on being in the area. You found an area that you like, and that you're living in that area, or that you want to live in an area, and you're ready to settle down. And finally, you're tired of paying somebody else's mortgage. You know, regardless of where you're staying, whether you're renting or you're at a landlord's or you're in an apartment, there's a mortgage being paid in most cases, and you're paying it, you're helping them pay it. And it's probably not a bad time to start paying your own. Now, here are some wrong reasons for buying a house, and these happen. You have a friend that just bought a house, and they're real excited about it, and you want to keep up with them. Okay, that's not a good reason. You can get in a big mistake like that. And I just listened to a story of a guy that bought his house, and then his little sister bought a house right after that because she wanted to keep up with him, and she was not ready. Another wrong reason is you want to buy and flip and make some quick money. Well, let me tell you, that's a skill set that most first-time home buyers don't have, and I'm going to encourage you not to do that. You can afford the monthly payment. Well, just because you can afford the monthly payment does not mean that you're ready. So you have to be careful about that. Okay, here's another one. You just came into some money. Now, I'm not telling you that if you came into some money and all these other things, you've got good income, your credit is good, you've been able to save, that it's a bad thing to buy a house. But just because you came into some money doesn't always mean that's the right reason to buy a house. Other reasons that people might buy, again, these aren't necessarily totally bad, but they're not the main reasons. You just got married and you guys want to settle down. Well, that could be the right thing, but you just want to make sure it's not something you jump into. And then another one is you just had your first child. These are all very compelling reasons why you would want to buy a house. But if you're not financially ready, if your job is not stable, if your credit is not good, if you're not ready or able to save some money, then it might not be a good reason. So hopefully that makes some sense. And we're almost done. I've got good questions to ask yourself. Is your financial house in order? And this kind of goes to how much credit card debt do you have? And how about auto loans or student loans or personal loans? And how is your credit? So if your financial house is in order, let me give you my version of what that looks like. That means that you have a stable job, you're saving some money, and you don't have a lot of debt. And so let me tell you, I'm living in Dave Ramsey world, and it's a good world. I mean, it's where we don't have car payments. We have a little bit of credit card debt, but not very much. We use it as a tool, not as something that we need. And we don't have a lot of personal loans out there, and we have some real estate debt. Now, Dave Ramsey would slap me because he didn't want me to have any debt, but we're in a pretty comfortable position because we're following what his rules are. And then how is your credit? You know, is your credit good, bad? Have you been paying the debts that you have on time and as agreed? Those are all good questions to ask yourself. The next one, have you saved enough for a down payment? And this is probably the biggest reason that people don't buy houses, is that they don't save enough, or they don't have the ability to save enough for the down payment. And in today's world, the down payment can be as little as 3%. Or if you're a vet, there's 0. But 3.5% to 3% is the minimum, and then 5% on a conventional loan. And let me tell you, it's hard to save money in today's world, particularly if you've accumulated debt. The next one that you want to ask yourself is, can you really afford the payments? And the payments, along with the payments comes other stuff. And it could be utility bills, or it could be homeowners association fees, or it might be just the fact that you have to gather all the equipment that's necessary to keep a house running. Some of you, it might be furniture, it might be linens, it might be curtains, it might be shades, it could be a lawnmower, it could be a weed eater, it could be a whole list of things that you need to get to make sure that you can run your household in a manner that's consistent with the neighborhood. And then the big question is, are you ready to finally settle down? I can tell you that it took me a little bit longer to settle down. Anyway, are you ready to settle down? Just make sure that you come to peace with the fact that you're going to be living in the same spot for 5 to 7 years, which is what people do these days. And if you aren't planning to stay in that one space 5 to 7 years, then it might not be a good time to buy. And this next one's a big one. I'm kind of sensitive to this because, can you fix a leak? And the implication with this question is, are you handy around the house? And it's possible that you had a parent that was very handy and that was showed you how to do a lot of this stuff. I am not. Matter of fact, I laugh because I may be the least handy person in the state of Texas, and my wife would say that maybe that's the United States. I don't know. But there are people that will do this kind of work for you. There are handymen out there that are reasonable. And fortunately, that is the case, because if it wasn't, we'd be in big trouble. And I can do some stuff. I'm better today than I was when I started, but I will just tell you, it's important that you are able to do some of this stuff, particularly in the early years, because guess what? It is expensive to pay for this, and it creates a problem if you can't do it. If you get a leak, guess what? It's got to be fixed. So those are a list of good questions to ask yourself if you're ready.